Exarch, and then you lose.
Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, since Valakut typically does not really interact, and you know, being able to win before Valakut can even set up, you know, just like Deceiver, Exarch, Splinter Twin, you have nothing to interact with me. That's it. I mean, in this case,
one of the things
though,
I really like about Paul's deck too is, you know, the Green Sun Zeniths let him play like a lot of silver bulletish type cards, like one of Obstinate Bailoff in the main. All right, well, it looks like both players are looking at their opening hands, deciding whether or not to keep. Nate decides he's going to go down to 6 cards here. So, have a quick mulligan. Now, in Nate's deck, let's see what's different than the other versions of this deck we've seen today. He does not have a Sword of War and Peace. Instead, he's playing a second copy of Batterskull.
Yeah, he does have that sword in the sideboard, but...
He also doesn't have Squadron Hawks. Instead of playing Squadron Hawk, he has 2 copies of Spellskite and the Deceiver Exarchs.
Yeah, and I did see a lot of lists cutting the Hawks to make room for the Exarchs. I think that's kind of the... at least that was the original list I was seeing. That's how they were making room for the Exarchs.
Yeah, now, something I really like about his list is he's not playing the Sword of War and Peace specifically because he's not playing Squadron Hawk. And that's why you want that card.
Right.
You know, that card really lets you win the Squadron Hawk War. But if you're not even attempting to play the Squadron Hawk War, then you don't have to play that card. All right.
So Paul leads with a Valakut and passes over to Nate.
So Nate plays a Preordain here, looks at his top 2 cards, and he seems to have a nice combination of lands and spells there with all of his mana. But he's tanking over these top 2 cards, and that means these cards are things that are likely... Oh, no, they're going to the bottom. And let's see what he finds. He finds a Mana Leak, and he's going to pass the turn back over to Paul. Mana Leak being a very strong card against Paul's deck.
Absolutely. So Paul untaps, draws a second copy of Valakut, and a Verdant Catacombs added to the board, which he immediately cracks, grabs a Forest.
Now, if he plays a Lotus Cobra here, that's going to pose a huge problem for Nate. Nate really needs to have a Dismember in his hand if he doesn't want to have his opponent have an explosive draw here.
Yeah, so looks like that's exactly what he's considering. And he chooses to go with Overgrown Battlement.
That seems like a fine play. He must not have a fetch land in his hand. All right, Nate draws for his turn and decides to aim a Gitaxian Probe at his opponent.
Yeah, so we're going to get to have a good look now at Paul's hand. He's got Double Cobra, Primeval Titan, Green Sun Zenith, and a Valakut. So you can see why he kind of declined to play that Cobra. It wasn't really going to give him much value. He wasn't going to be able to do anything but, you know, play a second Cobra or play the Overgrown Battlement, you know, all of which he can still do next turn with or without a Cobra.
Yeah, now next turn he has a few different options. He could either play a pair of Lotus Cobras. If he draws a land, that's probably the right play. Or he could choose to Green Sun Zenith for a second Battlement and have access to Primeval Titan on the next turn.
Yeah.
All right, so Nate plays an island, and I think he's going to play Stoneforge Mystic, and that's a shiny Stoneforge Mystic. It looks pretty in this camera.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm kind of starting to feel sad. I'm not going to be able to see many Stoneforge Mystics in the Batterskull. Oh wait, tomorrow's Legacy, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Plenty of Stoneforge Mystics in Legacy for a long time now. So Nate chooses to get Sword and Feast and Famine. For those of you unfamiliar with this matchup, Sword and Feast and Famine is exclusively the, Valakut's the matchup where you get that card first, and every other matchup, you always get Batterskull first.
Yeah. I mean, in Paris, this deck was pretty much built to beat Valakut. So Paul does add Lotus Cobra to the board, and his second copy of Valakut taps the battlement and adds a second Lotus Cobra. So Paul is stocked full of Cobras.
Yeah, he's one land away from putting that Titan on the table. What's interesting, though, is that Paul's deck does not have any sort of spot removal, so if Nate does get a chance to stick to Sword and Feast and Famine, he's going to get to swing with it quite freely. And Paul fails to find that crucial land.
So you think the play here, he has, actually, is that a... Yeah, that's an Inferno Titan in hand is alongside that Primeval Titan. Do you think the play here is to Green Sun Zenith now for maybe another battlement? Or do you just hope to draw that land? Oh, he did have a land.
He did have a land.
Okay, there's a Terramorphic Expanse from Paul.
Yeah, well, that's really, really good.
So he's going to get
4 mana?
2 mana, yeah, so he'll have 4 mana off of that.
So 8 total.
So, yeah, he's, if he attempts to play this, Nate does have the mana leak, so we saw him draw it off of that preordain.
If he wants to play around Mana Leak here, he could Green Sun Zenith for 5. Oh, he went for green and green. So he could Green Sun Zenith for 5 and pay 5 mana for it, rather. Have Mana Leak mana open and go and get an Oracle of Moldiah.
Yeah.
Should be a pretty strong play here.
Yeah. But in that case, he's just staring down the Sword of Feast and Famine. So he attempts to play an Inferno Titan.
Now, Nate's got a Mana Leak for this.
Yeah. It's actually pretty much more important that he Mana Leak this than even Mana Leak a Primeval Titan, because he can at least swing past the Primeval Titan with that sword.
Yeah, and you know, with the Jace plus sword combination, once he gets spun to 0 cards, he can start using the Jace ability as a removal spell. He attacks with both Cobras, offers the trade to Nate, and I don't think Nate's going to take this trade.
Yeah, I'd kind of be a little surprised if he did, although it looks like that's where he's going.
And if he makes that attack, then he wants to make the trade.
Yeah.
But he does.
Yeah. Trades a Stoneforge Mystic for a Lotus Cobra.
And I really like that attack from Paul because, you know, the second Cobra is little value there because if he draws 1 more land, he still has access to every spell in his hand.
Yeah. So very interesting, interesting play by Nate there. So I think we're gonna see. Yeah, there he is. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Doing a little bit of math here.
So he's thinking about whether or not he should bounce the Cobra or Fate Seal.
Besides the Fate Seal.
Fate Seal. It's a card on bottom. That's the turn.
So Paul looks to it. I think he topped that. Was that Green Sun Zenith?
I think he got a Forest.
Oh yeah. He just put it in, mixed it in the middle of his hand. That's what it was. So he does have that land. So I think we're going to see Primeval Titan, but.
Yeah, you could definitely resolve Primeval Titan here. Resolving that Primeval Titan is going to put Nate in a pretty tough spot. He's going to attack that Jace down to 2, or down to 3 rather, and then Nate's going to have to make a decision of whether or not he wants to bounce this Primeval Titan and give Paul an opportunity to replay it. It should probably be his play if he draws, you know, what is that card? I'm completely drawing a blank.
If Nate draws something?
Man, the counterspell.
Okay. So Paul does resolve the Primeval Titan, grabbing 2 mountains. Pretty classic play there from the Valakut deck.
All right, so now he has red, and pool. And I think he's just going to pass. Well, he's going to attack, but...
Yeah, attack Nate, I think. So yeah, Nate goes to 14.
Ooh, that's interesting.
It's a little bite from the Cobra. And he brainstorms.
Now, let's see what Nate's got for this turn. He's brainstorming, putting away a few things. And it doesn't look like he's assembled his combo yet.
No, but he will be able to keep that Primeval Titan from attacking next turn.
That's true. Tapping that Primeval Titan with the Seaver Arc is going to be pretty huge.
So, Spell Skite for Nate, and a pass the turn.
Oh, Paul's going to enter his combat step.
So this is interesting because Nate's put himself in a pretty decent position of he cracks his fetch line to get fresh cards on the top, plays the Deceiver Exarch, tap the Primeval Titan, and then on his turn can potentially brainstorm into a Splinter Twin, and if Paul doesn't have an answer for it, like basically in form of Nature's Claim, I think that's his only.
Yeah, he doesn't have a Nature's Claim in hand, so.
Then that would be it. So.
That'd be lights.
So.
Interested to see what.
Yeah, what's Paul's plan here? So, what does he have left in hand? He does have a Green Sun Zenith.
I mean, he can't kill Nate this turn, but he can certainly kill him next turn. So
Call Me Heart Expedition from Paul.
Ooh, and I think he's actually going to be pretty upset with himself. Let's see.
And Green Sun Zenith.
Ooh, for
how
4?
much is that? One. Yeah, it looks like it's for 4, right? Because he tapped 1 for the. Yeah, it's for 4. Okay.
So, could be an Oracle. It's got to be an Oracle.
Yeah. I mean, it's Oracle or Obstinate Bailoff, but it seems like Oracle would be the clear better play there.
Yeah.
Gain 4 life against a deck that combos for infinite doesn't seem that big of a deal.
Now, Paul's on 0 cards, so Nate knows he can combo freely.
Yeah, if he can get the Splinter Twin. Now, he only has 3 main deck copies, which is typical, I think, of these Twin Blade lists.
When you have Jace and Preordain.
Yeah.
It's,
and
Gataxian Probe.
You know, a Claw Blade deck also to back up.
Yeah. In case you need Stoneforge Mystics.
And on top of the deck is Primeval Titan. Not super relevant.
Well, I mean, it ensures that he'll be able to kill his opponent next turn.
Yeah.
So, it's just kill me now or love me forever.
Yeah, so here we go. Nate cracks his Scalding card.
And he's going to go and find a mountain.
Yeah. Find a mountain. And now after this shuffle, if Splinter Twin is in the top 4 cards,
that's game.
That's game. You know, Nate takes game 1. But if not, I think it's looking pretty secure for Paul. So yeah. Tap your Primeval Titan with Deceiver Exarch.
All right. Now we have.
So he untaps. Let's see. Is the top card a Splinter Twin?
That would be pretty nice.
Are we gonna get to see it? No, it's not. It's
no. It's a Seachrome Coast.
Yep.
You could also brainstorm into a shuffle effect and a preordain. There are a lot of things that could happen here, which could then get him into Splinter Twin.
Right. I think. I mean, is there a way that he plays this? He decides not to brainstorm for Splinter Twin. Okay, 1. Okay, so he's going with the brainstorm. So Splinter Twin. He wants it to be there.
Yeah. Let's see.
We can't see.
We can't see it all. No.
I still can't see it.
I don't think he has it. I think he would have.
He would have just dropped it onto the table.
Yeah, he probably would have windmilled it a little harder.
So he's deciding what to put back.
And he does have a shuffle effect, so. Unfortunately, that shuffle effect will prevent him from casting a Splinter Twin this turn. Unfortunately for him, rather. Ooh, wait. No, he can bounce the Primeval Titan this turn with his Jace and then play and equip. Oh, you're right. Yeah, so he can't. He's
got another Exarch, but...
Okay, so he can... But then he dies to the...
Other Primeval Titan? Like,
depending on what Paul reveals with the Oracle.
I mean, it looks like he's got... Yeah, there's the sword. So this will give him quite a bit of use of his mana here. Sword on the Exarch. Attack.
He gets to untap all of his lands here.
Yeah, so.
And does he have a counterspell in hand? I don't think he does. He just has a Stoneforge Mystic.
Plays a Stoneforge Mystic.
Let's see what he finds here. Batterskull.
Gets a Batterskull.
This is the only equipment left in his deck.
Yeah.
Now, I think Paul's just going to kill him.
I think so too. I'm sitting here like thinking about what it is that Nate is.
It all depends on what's on the top of Paul's deck, though. It's he needs to have a little bit of action here. He needs to get that Expedition active. Okay, that's it.
So, yeah, that should definitely be it with that Terramorphic Expanse.
Yeah.
Terramorphic Expanse comes into play. Puts a counter on the Calling Heart Expedition.
Mm-hmm.
That should be it, really.
Yeah, and now the Arid Mesa will get played off the top.
Yeah.
Another counter on the Calling Heart Expedition. Mountain on top. Yeah, now it's completely over.
Unless there's something we're not seeing, but I think it's over. There's Primeval Titan.
Yeah. And what's he going to find with this? I'm surprised he chose this order of operations. He already picked up his deck, so... I guess you just find 2 Valakuts and sacrifice your Calling Heart Expedition and kill your opponent, right?
It seems like one way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you afraid of? Stifle?
That's 24 damage. Yeah. His opponent, he knows what's in his opponent's deck, so he knows right now that there's, put that to 4.
So that Spellskite actually makes things interesting.
Yeah. I mean,
but
it's not
interesting enough, right?
Yeah.
He's, that's a lot of Valakut triggers and he has only 3 blue available, and then the rest of the Valakut triggers do 2 damage.
Yeah, now he's going to sacrifice these 2 fetch lands, and he's going to find 2 mountains, and then decide to enter combat.
So yeah, he decides to play his second Exarch, tapping the non-summoning sick Primeval Titan.
And yeah, he's going to pop both of these.
Right, so
he's going to find 2 mountains here. And then he's going to sacrifice his Calling Heart Expedition and kill his opponent.
Nate's going to stifle the Calling Heart.
Yeah.
And Paul will win the match.
So
Nate sided in stifle in game 1 of a standard.
There are 8 triggers going on. Nate can redirect one of them to the Spellskite for a mana, and there will be 7 remaining, meaning he'll have to pay 14 life to redirect all of them. So he is unable to survive. Yeah. And he will aim all this damage at his opponent's face.
Oh, did he have to count
8
those
triggers.
4 delegates?
Yeah.
Just make sure there's 4 there.
And yeah, even with the spell skite, Nate does. So Nate puts 1 to the spell skite, and now there are 7 triggers remaining. And even if he redirects all of them to the spell skite, he still dies.
Let me shuffle your deck here. I would really love to know what players are thinking. Like, are we really missing something? Or like, there's real. I mean, it's a situation right here where it seems very obvious that Paul has a win. You know what I mean? And so either we're missing something.
We're not missing anything. I'm absolutely positive that Nate is dead right now. I'm confused as to why a judge hasn't ended the game at this point.
That's what I mean, I'm confused too. So.
Now, yeah. So that's it. So let's talk about how we think they're going to sideboard here.
You think Paul sideboards out his mountains? Maybe?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
I'm heavily doubting that. I think he's probably going to bring in some summoning traps.
Yeah, seems right. Maybe another Oracle in place of that Obstinate Bailoff. I mean, that Oracle's just nice source of card advantage. Acidic Slime, possibly.
Acidic Slime could come in.
Yeah.
Some banter going on. But in all fairness, what Nate's doing there, that's really good. Because everybody has given up games for free.
Yeah.
Where they hadn't actually lost, and they thought they had lost, and they'd packed their cards up. And he was just making absolutely sure.
We're examining the deck list. Thanks for taking them at the wrong time. So, I'm just kidding. And it wasn't really just Nate. I felt like Paul had it, right in front of him too, and he was like playing very slowly, like, what is it could possibly happen here? Like you've got a ton of triggered abilities. So, anyway, we're about to give away some premium.
Ooh,
3 months of premium.
3 months of premium.
So, let's see.
Now,
do you have a question? I have one kind of in mind, unless you have mine's kind of crummy, but
that's fine. Let's go with yours because I don't really have one, and I would just make it up at the stream of thought. Well, so I might ask about Thomas Edison. We have no idea what I could ask.
You better start Wikipedia. Fire up Wikipedia. Thomas Edison, Edison. So, were you actually? You look like you had something to say before.
Oh no! I was just ready to.
So all right, I'll go for it. So for 3 months of Star City Premium, what archetype won the last 2 Star City games Standard Opens?
That's a good question. Now, if you're going to respond to this, remember.
Right.
You should respond at SCG Live, hashtag SCG Premium, include your username for Star City Games,
right? Your Star City username,
and
the answer,
and include the answer to the question.
Right.
So again, the question is, what archetype won the last 2 Star City Games Standard Open events?
That's right. I'll tell you this though. Here's a hint: not blue.
It's a pretty big hint.
I just wanted to make sure that people knew that the archetype was not Blue Deck Wins.
BDW.
So, all right, we got our deck lists back. Hey, they're in the wrong places. I'm confused now. There we go. This is where that was.
Oh, nice.
I just want to make sure, because I was looking right here, and then it changed because that was there. So, I'm trying to figure out what Nate would bring in here.
All right, so Nate probably wants. Does he have anything?
I know. I think I'm kind of trying to figure out Spell Skite.
But is Spell Skite good?
I don't know. It saved him like 3 damage in that last game. And it can make the
You know,
twos-
ironically, if
he-
Paul had attacked the Jace with that Lotus Cobra, it would not have been enough damage. So, Paul Longo, complete master.
There you go.
Paul Longo, comma, complete master.
Right,
Just
that's
like
his
to point that out to
planeswalker
everyone
name?
at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's his planeswalker.
And that is his Planeswalker name.
No, I mean
+1 next level target opponent by attacking their face instead of Jace when they're at 17.
it's just yeah.
For 2.
He was ready for that spell skite.
He knew. That was good. That was really good.
I mean, the only other spell skite, it's not necessarily good, but it's I mean, what are you being able to kind of redirect any amount of it when it's just the right amount, and like say you have the combo, and I mean this deck can just win out of nowhere.
That's true.
He may be able to just be like, you know,
And you know what?
redirect.
Spellskite's also good at protecting his combo because his
Yeah.
opponent does have 4 Nature's Claims.
Yeah, that's true
So,
too.
you know, Spellskite can redirect the Nature's Claim to itself.
yeah, so
It's a pretty nice interaction.
I think he at least brings that in. I mean,
Yeah, the Batter Skulls are pretty meh here, so
Right.
you take the Batter Skull out. Besides that,
yeah, I think that's it. I mean,
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
He could sideboard
I mean,
in another Splinter Twin if he had one in the sideboard, but he doesn't.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's not Clawblade where you're, you know, trying to kill Lotus Cobra at all cost. You're really just trying to assemble combo at all cost.
Yeah,
So,
it's kind of funny. Like, I really wonder what. Like, I haven't played with this deck, but what's Plan A? With this deck, is it Callblade or is it Splinter Twin? You know,
I mean,
is
it's
it just
whatever you
kind of
draw,
whatever you draw,
right?
right? Like, I've got Stoneforge Mystic, Splinter Twin. What do I do here? Deceiver Exarch, and 4 lands: Mountain, Mountain, Island, Island, or something. Mountain, Mountain, Island, Plains.
I mean, you just play them in order.
Yeah.
And your
Right,
opponent
like
has to like do
Island,
something about
yeah.
every single water they
Stoneforge
lose.
Mystic.
You know, Stoneforge Mystic.
Deceiver
no.
Exarch.
Like, you have to have a removal spell for the Stoneforge Mystic, or I'm going to drop a Batter Skull on your face. And then it's like, oh, you have the removal spell. How lucky. And then it's like, oh, well, look, it's a Deceiver Exarch. Oh, well, you already used a removal spell, so here's a Splinter Twin. You're dead.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be a nice hand.
And oh, you dealt with it? Well, I already searched for this Batter Skull, so on turn 5 I'm going to play this
Yeah, it's
Baneslayer
like
Angel that was just magically in my hand for no
in
reason.
those turns, I did happen to draw into a 5th land because I had 4. Right, yeah, that seems good. Yeah, I guess
The deck seems pretty
It
powerful.
has 2 Plan A's and no Plan B. Plan B is
Yeah.
just what's deeper in the deck. That's about it. So very interesting deck. We usually give away the premium. We announce the winner of the premium at the end of the match, so we'll do that.
Okay.
Just wanted to mention in case anybody was wondering when the premium when we announced premium. So all right,
So we should be going
We can go
back
back
to
to the game, yeah.
back to the game now.
it's like they're
They're shuffling up, getting ready for game 2.
shuffling. Yep.
There's Paul Longo on the left, finished at the top of the standings after the Swiss. Started out on an 8-0 run, then drew twice to make the top 8 of this event. And on the right, we have Nate Chafe. Nate squeaked in 8th place. Was a clean cut, though, so he knew he was making it in. And, you know, also, very good day for him. Finishing 8-1-1 in a 10-round tournament is no small feat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a pretty brutal day when the rounds, you know, when it's 10 rounds. I mean, it's like GP day 1, you know, like kind of thing, like big,
Yeah.
huge GP.
More, even.
Yeah.
It's, if you have the ability to have your brain work for that many hours in a row, then
Yeah. That's
you'll start doing really well at
commendable,
these
yeah.
events. Well, it looks like both these players, though, are definitely bringing their A game to this top 8.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the interesting thing is if there had been a Splinter Twin in the top 4 cards for Nate when Paul passed the turn, that
The
that
game
game
would've
would have
been
been Nate's. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, 1 in 20 cards in his deck are Splinter Twins, and he certainly saw more than 20 cards that game.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously it's not like,
It's
oh, I saw my
not
20th
always-
card, this one definitely should have been
Yeah.
it, kind of thing. But
What happened to?
Yeah.
It's simple math. I should have seen them. It's always supposed to be that way, perfectly evenly distributed throughout the deck.
if that were true, nobody would play anything except combo ever.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Alright, so
All right, so
looks like
turn
Nate's-
1, Nate leads with a preordain.
Yeah.
Leaves a mana leak on top. Again, very good card in this matchup. Ooh, Paul left in the Inferno Titans.
Drops
I
an
like
island.
that.
I
He
mean,
needs to threat Density.
drops a mountain, passes the turn to Nate, and Nate has the turn to Stoneforge Mystic.
And it really doesn't get much better.
Yeah.
Turn 2 Stoneforge.
Into Sword of Feast and Famine. The Valakut Slayer. Hopefully. You know.
Especially when you're on the play, it
Nate's thinking,
becomes
yeah.
very, very good.
So, do we have an answer for the turn to Mystic from Paul?
All right, it looks like Paul is going to play some type of mana accelerant.
Yeah, I mean,
We're
this
not
deck
really
is
sure what at this
all
point.
mana, accelerants, and then Primeval Titans. That's the deck, right?
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't have like an Expedition, an Explorer, a Battlement, or a Cobra, he's mulliganing, so...
Yeah, so it looks like he's got an Explorer right there at the top of his, or in the front of his hand, so...
So he's got a pair of Explorers.
Yeah, Explore, draw, steal the play,
Yeah.
and pass back, so...
Now let's see what Nate has to offer here. Nate plays a Preordain. And did he find a... No, there's... Was he looking for a land here? Oh, so he sided in... Was that a Dispel?
I thought it was too, yeah, that's interesting. He's got two
Maybe
copies of that in
he's
the sideboard.
expecting the Summoning Traps?
Maybe.
Because that seems... Or he can counter Nature's Claim.
Right,
So,
yeah.
I mean, it's
Actually,
good at
that's not a
protecting his
terrible
combo.
idea,
Yeah, I think that I guess he just doesn't have access to the more reactive cards. But against
Right.
Valakut, I feel like I'd just rather be reactive and let them tap out. I don't need to be defensive.
Yeah. So Paul plays another Explorer this turn. Draws a card, and looks like he's going to drop a...
Valakut and Terramorphic Expanse, right?
yeah, so Valakut, land number 1. Terramorphic Expanse, land number 2.
Yeah, and now we're playing a Titan game.
Titans versus Swords.
Mm-hmm.
So Nate has the Sword of Feast and Famine in play. Now, equip the sword. Swing with the Stoneforge Mystic. In for 3.
Mhm.
Discard a card. Did we see what he discarded?
We've not yet.
Okay. Oh, okay, there it is. It's Verdant
Verdant
Catacombs, it looks like. And Nate gets to untap there. And does he have a combo in hand? I believe.
Ooh, does he?
I believe he has Exarch Twin in hand. Does not have any
Red mana. And that's the big issue with this deck.
Yeah, that's what you were saying earlier. Like the mana seems iffy.
I tried playing with this deck, and I was often frustrated
Yeah.
by my mana, so that's what turned me off of it. But with 4 people in the top 8, it's got to be a strong archetype.
Yeah, absolutely. These people all just shuffle better than you.
They must, or their opponents do.
Yeah.
Now, let's see what Paul finds here. I think he's just going to drop the Titan this turn.
Yeah, seems like a plan. He's got a fetch land there. There it is. Verdant Catacombs added to Paul's side of the board. Cracks it. And what does he get here? A forest or swamp? What do you think? You want to call it? Swamp?
Forest.
Forest. All right. He goes with forest. All right.
Got so lucky. Not calling swamp there, you know?
Yeah, it was a 50-50 shot. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you never know if he wants to cast the Sprouting Thrynax. It's not in his deck.
Could be. Could be he wants to cast Terror, but he forgets that he can't target that Stoneforge Mystic while it's holding that sword.
All right.
And 6 mana.
And there's an Inferno Titan.
Titan. Nate has the mana leak.
All right. And no Summoning Trap in Paul's hand.
Nope.
Nate was ready with that Dispel, though.
He was. And top deck's something that I couldn't tell. So,
So he has a Jace now, also.
yeah, he does. I think he had that last turn as well, so I think he just was holding back, figuring Paul's about to hit 6 mana.
Yeah, now he has the sword with the Jace.
Right. So.
This is Callblade pre-Batter Skull, how it worked. They would play the Jace when you had the Sword of Feast and Famine, and then you just untap all of your lands, and they would be utterly locked out of the game.
Seems really good right now, especially now that he wants mountains just to have that combo.
Yeah, so he can just start brainstorming League for red.
Yeah, and he's got 3 mountains in the deck, 1 Evolving Wilds, and 4 Arid Mesa. So 8,
found 1.
Yeah, 8 ways to find mountains, find red. He's gonna need 2 of those though.
And the one he found is actually the best one. He found the Evolving Wilds. So that lets him put back 2 cards that he doesn't want.
And shuffle them away.
And then shuffle them away. A la Legacy Brainstorm style. And I'm surprised he didn't play that Expanse first and crack it so you would get access to the
untapped land, right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really, I think it matters with what's in his hand, but he chooses not to play the land at all.
Oh, huh, interesting. He is going to play an Exarch to tap a forest, yeah.
I like that play a lot.
I do too. Oh, like a master, Paul, I believe, just top decked that forest.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a... he doesn't have another Titan. He just has a pair of Zeniths in his hand now. So
that was nice.
The tapping of that forest was really strong there. Really nice play by Nate.
Yeah. So we gotta watch our voices since they're over there. I can hear him shuffling, so I figure he may be able to hear us if we're too loud.
Oh, that's a good point.
So just want to, because since it gets so quiet in here
it's
after
the end of the day.
98% of the people are gone. So he's going to Green Sun Zenith now for... Ooh, okay. That was
a Spell Pierce.
Spell Pierce for the Green Sun Zenith, and Paul says, all right, Nate, you got the game.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, he's Fate Sealing him with a Jace while he's bashing him, and anything he gets on the battlefield is going to get bounced by Jace and discarded anyway.
Nice soft lock there. So, back to the sideboards. Let me try to take a peek if we can see what he grabbed. He did the nice lean back there.
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to see what Paul does instead.
Paul's taking out his Colony Heart Expeditions, it looks like.
Yeah.
And let's see what he decides to put in their place. He has his... Oh, he took out his Cobras? That seems very odd. I mean, Cobra seems very strong in this match. Now, this is it. This is game 3, so the winner of this game is going to be the victor of the match. Last game we saw Nate play very well.
Yeah.
Very nice timing on the Deceiver Exarch. So very nice ordering of his plays with Sword of Feast and Famine. He got the right sword. He played at the right time. He chose to play that over his Jace when it was the right play.
Yeah. And, I mean...
He's getting rewarded for tight play.
Yeah, I don't know if he played Valakut, played against Valakut in the previous 10 rounds at all, but if not, you got to kind of dig deep and go, so how did this deck work against Valakut again? I know, that's what I'm thinking. I'm going, wow, I really haven't seen Valakut in so long that you kind of, it's not like you don't remember how it works, but you kind of got to remember, how does my deck fight Valakut, you know? Obviously, I think the key is the Sword of Feast and Famine, for sure.
Oh yeah, Sword of Feast and Famine is...
Remembering that much will get you 80% of the way there.
Huge factor in this matchup. That's one of the reasons why Valakut fell out of favor, is Sword of Feast and Famine.
Right.